What's going on? Mitchell Reds, Tom Downey here. We got the NFL Draft Underclassmen.
Yeah.
Tom, this is going to be a very, very heavy-hitting show for you.
Early entries coming in, so we're going to break down the ones so far, provide a little bit now on these guys. Reminder, they can return before January 20th, but I don't think most of these guys are going to make that decision. I think for a lot of them, they're going to choose to go ahead and stay in the NFL draft, turn pro, and see where the chips may fall in terms of their draft stock.
Let's talk about a player, Tom, that you love, or maybe used to love. Jordan Love.
Jordan Love is a very unique prospect. I don't really know what's going to happen with him. Let's just address the elephant in the room here, right? The stats. It's not fair, but NFL GMs have to answer to the public sometimes. You're going to have a tough time justifying that stat line of 61%, 3,000 yards, and a 1-to-1 touchdown interception ratio.
It's not good.
We knocked Daniel Jones. We knocked Josh Allen for good reason. Those touchdown interception ratios are worse. The maybe saving grace for Jordan Love, look what he did in 2018.
I know it's the reason why.
Before the coaching staff changed.
Okay, because I know like before the season started, I asked you, Tom,
That's a big difference.
Give me some top quarterbacks. Jordan Love was a guy that you had talked highly about. I don't know. The 2019 numbers, they're alarming.
We want to believe as NFL fans, as analysts, as scouts, anything, we want to believe talent wins out in the end. Doesn't always. And Jordan Love, his success in the NFL is going to be determined by where he goes. If he goes to a bad organization, they're not going to develop him very well. You have to treat him like Patrick Mahomes. Send him somewhere he can learn for at least a year, then give him the reins. He should not be a top 10 pick.
Okay.
He might end up being one, in all honesty, but he is a big-time project with massive upside. It is a gamble if you take him.
Let's talk about a big-time running back in terms of size. That's A.J. Dillon of Boston College. What do you give me the woo for?
He's going to be interesting. We don't see a guy this size anymore in the NFL. He's 250, and he looks the part too, but he actually moves really well for his size. The production's pretty incredible overall for A.J. Dillon. The buzz out in the scouting community is that he could run in the 4.4s.
Wow.
I don't think he's going to, but if he runs in the 4.4s at 250, I mean, my goodness. We haven't seen that happen since T.J. Duckett. Want to go back to that guy? The Falcons running back. That's how long it's been. Now, he's not playing in his bowl game, by the way. Biggest concerns for me is that overall, he has not ever been a pass catcher.
Okay.
That's not who he is. That's not what he does. Not what he's ever done in the at Boston
So now
College.
maybe like
that's a red flag.
Okay.
So if you're not a pass catcher, I don't really know what route or what role you have. Like, because you're a first and second down back that's going to drop you, I would love to find a way to make him into a Kyle Juszczyk.
Okay.
If he isn't as fast as the buzz is. But someone take him, someone let him be your Thunder. It'll work out in the end.
Thunder or lightning. So should players sit out bowl games, Tom? This is an interesting question. We talk about it a bunch here on Chat Sports, so we'll ask everyone who's watching us live right now. Should players sit out bowl games? Type Y for yes or type N for no. I'm seeing Ronald says no.
From an entertainment standpoint, no, we don't want them to sit out bowl games.
However,
but it's not about the entertainment. It's about the players. Do what's best for your career. If you're A.J. Dillon, you're a running back, you put on a ton of miles, there's not much in your bowl game you're going to be able to do to improve your draft stock.
If college players can get paid,
fine.
Then I think they should play. If they're not going to get paid, then I think you should be allowed to sit out.
I agree with Jacob. Depends on the player.
Okay. Seeing a lot of Y's, seeing a lot of N's. Let's talk about another running back out of Arizona. You got J.J. Taylor. Very small. It's 5'6", 185. Are we talking about like a Darren Sproles here type of running back, Tom? What are we getting into?
He's not even Darren Sproles. He's 5'6", 185. He ain't thick enough for that. He was the first player to declare. I think he's more in the day 3 range. I'm not too surprised he ended up choosing to go pro. That was mostly expected, but he's going to be a late round pick. Maybe you're hoping you can get a Tariq Cohen type out of him.
Okay. Interesting. So very small, 5'6", potentially J.J. Taylor, running back out of Arizona. You're watching NFL Daily by Chat Sports. We got some NFL draft underclassmen. So let's talk about now, Tom, some 2019 stats for Maryland.
2 Maryland players have declared, Anthony McFarland and Javon Leake. McFarland, maybe you saw him against Ohio State last year, 2018. 21 for 298 and 2 touchdowns. Now he's undersized, he's like 5'8", sub 200 pounds. He was banged up this year, was in a timeshare with Leake, who, by the way, was the Big Ten return specialist of the year. That might be enough to get him drafted. He's a little bit bigger. He's got a fumbling problem, though. From a running back perspective, give me Anthony McFarland. This is your example of, I want the traits guy over the production. That's McFarland. I think he's a day 3 option.
Let's go to another player here, Tom. You got Eno Benjamin. Tell me about him.
Arizona State running back. If you want a player comparison, a little bit of Duke Johnson. He was definitely better last year, 2018, as a sophomore. Still, I thought played pretty well. The biggest selling point for Benjamin, much like Duke Johnson, is the passing game. He is a weapon in that area. That means at worst case, you're going to have a possible change of pace back, a guy that can help you on third downs. I like that for Benjamin. I don't think he goes in round 1 or round 2. I doubt he goes in round 3 because it is such a strong running back class overall. At least it should be, depending on who else comes out there. If you can get him in round 4, as I like to do, always spend a 4th round pick on running back and just don't ever pay him, Benjamin makes quite a bit of sense.
So, Benjamin, now we want you guys to shout out your favorite team. You know what?
College too.
I was just going to say, let's do NFL, let's do college football. So, Tom, who is your favorite NFL team? I already know who that is. Actually, I don't even really care.
Okay.
Or college football.
Well,
who's your favorite? Don't go with your alma mater.
Okay, then Texas is my second choice.
Miami, Ohio.
That's mine, yeah.
I know.
That's mine.
I would say
MAC champions, baby.
I would say my favorite college football team is Penn State, since I grew up about an hour from there. I'm seeing Ohio State from Nick Howard, Boise State from Sam.
Probably a Cowboys fan, too.
Iowa State from H. Loven. The Raiders, throw that in there. My 2 teams, Penn State, the Oakland Raiders. And speaking of the Raiders, Tom, get me this jersey.
No, I'm not
Christmas,
buying it for you.
holiday, my birthday's in February. Get it right now, chatsports.com/NFL jersey. We have unbelievable jersey sales. You need to go take advantage of these deals right now. Limited time only. You want Josh Jacobs? We got it. Christian McCaffrey, that one too. Dak Prescott, number 4, chatsports.com/NFL jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Or you go to the GOAT. Get a GOAT.
It still sells well.
It does still sell well.
It's crazy.
Also, these Bosa jerseys, Tom, they've been flying off the shelves.
They have been.
Make sure you go. If you want a Bosa jersey, you better act really quick because they're flying off the shelves. Chatsports.com/NFL jersey. Limited time only. Let's go to a Colorado player, Tom. Probably my favorite name. Laviska Shenault Jr.
Laviska. It's not Laviska.
Ah.
I don't know where you threw in the
Take
extra
a drink.
H there. You were close there. My favorite name. I can't pronounce it. I like Shenault a lot. Versatility was kind of the name of his game at Colorado. He's like 6'2", 220, kind of built like a running back, and they used him in that capacity too. Look, he oftentimes was the Colorado offense. Wildcat quarterback, out wide, slot, backfield, had some return stuff, the occasional like H-back tight end basically. The biggest problem for Shenault is not the talent, it's the medical. He has been banged up a lot. That's going to be a big, big red flag for NFL teams. I think he goes in round 1, assuming the medical isn't that big of a problem.
So let's look at some 2019 stats here for y'all.
Because Shenault's not the only Colorado receiver going pro.
I know, I see that. KD Nixon.
KD Nixon, I don't really love him turning pro. I thought he could have gone back to school. Look, the quarterback situation there's a kind of a big old question mark. The offense for the Buffs regressed from last year. That's not a huge surprise there. Nixon's undersized. He's 5'8", maybe 190, but he runs a 4.42. I think day 3 is his best case scenario. Could be an undrafted guy that sticks around the NFL for a while because of his athletic abilities.
Let's go to the Horny Frogs here. Jalen Reagor.
Telling Harrison you said that.
Good.
Reagor is an interesting prospect. I'll use this to go on a bit of a rant here about draft and scouting here. There are 2 things you require to be good at one particular, two elements you need to be a whole prospect thing. So, for example, vertical deep threat. Jalen Reagor should be that because he can fly. He's going to run in the 4.4s, maybe the 4.3s. and he's dug the ball in his hands. But to be a great deep threat, it's not just being fast.
Ball tracking.
Fast is the trait. The skill is ball tracking and ball skills, like you mentioned.
Take a drink.
I kind of question about the last part there for Jalen Reagor. So my concern is this. Is he going to be Deshaun Jackson?
Or
That's his upside. Is he or Ted Ginn? Or is he a J.J. Nelson? Or because he's not good contested catches and he's not a great ball tracker, is he more of a short area of the field guy like Tavon Austin? I worry a little bit it's going to be like the latter there, and he's not going to be a good enough deep threat. The speed's going to get him drafted maybe at the back end of round 1. He's going to be more of a day 2 guy for me because it's such a strong receiver class overall.
Tom loves speed, especially the kind of speed I'm talking about.
No, not that kind.
He said it. He said, yes, you heard it here. So who's your favorite NFL draft prospect in 2019? We want you guys to comment below. We do a lot of NFL draft stuff here. Tom's the best in the biz. Go give him a follow on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. So who is your favorite NFL draft prospect in 2019? I'm going to go with Chase Young.
That's the best prospect. It does not have to be best, by the way.
CeeDee Lamb. I'm also a big fan of CeeDee Lamb. How about that?
That's going there. I like Isaiah Simmons, for example.
Oh, actually
I'm a big
Simmons.
Antoine Winfield guy, by the way, at Minnesota. I don't know if he goes pro, but he's awesome.
So seeing some Chase Youngs in the comments section. Let us know who is your favorite NFL draft prospect in 2019. Looks like Jacob and I, we agree. Also seeing some Big Boy Brown, Leaky Fotu. Fotu?
Lucky Fotu. You
Oh,
tried.
boy. I tried. All right, let's talk about Gabriel Davis, Tom.
He's not a burner. I think he was better in the first half of the year, but overall he was really good this year. He was 5th most in yards and tied for 8th in touchdowns. Not probably going to play in his bowl game. Good size productions there. I think he's a nice day 2. Maybe he falls into early day 3. Bigger bodied option there.
Let's move in now to Lynn Bowden Jr.
This is simple. Just call him Randall Cobb. That played at Kentucky, was pressed into quarterback duty, won the Paul Hornung Award for the most versatile player, saved the season because they were so decimated with quarterback injuries, they had to put somebody else out there. Bowden's still pretty raw, but he offers return ability. He's good with the ball in his hands. You see those rushing stats there. He's gone pro. Strong class might push him down. You need a potential slot guy. I like Bowden quite a bit.
Let's look at a Beaver, Tom.
That is Isaiah Hodgins out of Oregon State. Is an interesting prospect. He's NFL bloodlines. His daddy was an NFL fullback. Great production. You see it up there. Good hands. I want him to develop a little bit more as a route runner. I wonder if he might have a bit more of a learning curve than maybe we want to think there. So for Hodgins, you take him early day 3, late day 2 in a strong class. You got yourself a big option there, 6'3", about 208.
College bowl season, Tom, is right around the corner, and I'm going to be betting on a ton of games, and y'all should too. Go to BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. It's the internet's #1 sports book. NFL, college football, NBA, literally any sport you could think of. The #1 sports book. Remember this name, BetDSI. Go to the link below, chatsports.com/bet. Let's look now at some more early entries. How about some tight ends, Tom? Who doesn't love a good tight end?
Hunter Bryant is the one that jumps out here. Gifted move. That's that athletic, I think, Evan Ingram type tight end. Great production this year. He might be tight end 1. All right, Mitch, say that Missouri tight end name, Albert O.
Albert, okay, Tom, here you go.
That's not quite what. It's Albert Okwebunam. You can just call him Albert O. It's a lot easier right there. 11 touchdowns his freshman year, 6 each of his last 2. He has not developed the way we hoped. I don't think he gets open very well. Good size, red zone threat. I think he might be a tight end 2, though, in the NFL. I got some concerns there. And then Kyle Markway kind of counts. He could have gone back for his 6th year. I don't really think he gets drafted. But he had a nice year after a bunch of injuries, 2016, 2017. So we're going to give him some love, too.
All right, let's look at some more underclassmen here. Let's look at Tristan Colonoscopy Castillo.
Okay, let's be respectful, Mitch. Tristan Colon Castillo. I was kind of surprised he turned pro, was a 3-year starter, but Missouri coaching change, so he goes pro. Jordan Elliott is that thick boy, 6'4", 325. Potential sleeper here, by the way. 8 tackles for loss in both of his years at Missouri. A Texas transfer for you Longhorn fans out there. And then Cameron Dantzler. I am super intrigued what the NFL thinks about him. He's got the physical profile. He's a little bit lanky, but he's got good size, good arms. Needs to add some weight there. But I think he can run enough. Decent ball production and skills there, but injuries are a red flag too. I have a tough time figuring out where he goes, but I think it's somewhere on day 2.
Now, if you guys love the NFL draft as much as Tom, you need to go get some help because I don't even know if it's possible. So last year, and actually even the year before that, Tom, we were the most watched 2019 NFL draft on the internet. Millions and millions and millions of views. Heck, there's at times where we had 67,000 people watching us live. So if you want to be a part of an unbelievable show, Tom and I are live for literally 40 hours straight. It's insane. So I see some people saying they're tripping now. Wait to see what we look like after 40 hours straight of NFL draft coverage. Hit that sub button. Also, we give away a ton of free things. Ton of free giveaways. Hit that sub button. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. Let's talk about Penn State. Yetur Gross-Matos.
He's going to play in his bowl game. He is probably going to be a first-round pick if he tests the way I think he will and should. I still think he's a little bit away from being that premier edge, but I think that's still going to have to get him inside that top 20, 25 there. He's got some Gumby in him. Means he can bend Mitch. Better plan of attack this year. I think round 1, he's 6'5", 260-ish. He might run in the 4.6s, which is pretty damn good for his size.
Let's talk about Josh from Michigan, Tom. I'll let you handle
Uche.
Michigan.
Undersized, but an athletic edge rusher is Josh Uche here. He's going to the Senior Bowl. I was a little surprised he had a year of eligibility left. Didn't really know that before the beginning of the year. My biggest issue with him, and we'll get to positives too, don't worry, I got scheme concerns. He's listed at 250. He ain't 250. There's no way that man right now is 250 pounds. He's less than that. He'll probably bulk up before the combine. But he does have the biggest trait that NFL teams want. He can bend, he can dip the corner, he can get to the quarterback in a one-on-one matchup. Those are tough to find even in the NFL. The pressure rate's really good. The sack efficiency dropped, but he does generate pressure so he gets around the quarterback, and that is more consistent. That is more translatable than sacks, which we don't want to admit, but can be fluky. So Uche is not the biggest guy. I worry he might be more of a 3-4 scheme guy in the end, or just a pure edge rusher, or maybe a wide 9 defensive end there. Maybe he's only Tim Williams upside, but I think he's just good enough against the run there with enough pressure. I think he makes sense for the NFL. I could see him going in round 3, maybe even a little bit higher, because teams covet guys who can bend the edge and get around the corner. That's what Uche can do.
So who will be the first Michigan prospect drafted? Throw it in the comments section below. I know the king of Michigan media he's going to be watching this one.
Josh Uche makes sense there. I think Ben Bredesen makes sense. We'll see who else turns pro. Could be one of those receivers in the end.
Now let's talk about CJ Henderson, cornerback out of Florida.
The last guy so far. Henderson, I don't really know what to do with him. He is, I think, going to be a bit of a divisive prospect in terms of just how highly he's rated. There are some who think he is one of the best cornerbacks in this class. I'm talking like top 2, like top 15 overall guy. I'm not there. He has a lot of the traits you want. He's going to be about 6'1", 200 pounds. Should run in the 4.4s, maybe even the low 4.4s. So he can be a press man cover guy.
Okay.
If he can up his physicality. Henderson doesn't play tough. Now, I think the injury is probably a factor here. I think the traits are there. There are times I see a better souped-up athletic version of Chidobe Awuzie. And I don't... That's not bad, because better athlete Awuzie means more plays on the football, but his interception numbers have dropped. He's broken up more passes, was banged up this year. I am not sure if he's going to be a late round 1 guy for me or an early round 2 guy, but somewhere in that range I think is the right fit for Henderson. And I'm not scouting the helmet here, but we've seen some of these recent Florida cornerbacks have some issues in terms of just like attitude. That's why Chauncey Gardner-Johnson dropped. I don't think that's Henderson, but that is something you're going to want to check out and explore if you're the NFL.